we just watched the first dress rehearsal of the grand final, and I think whether or not we're ready, it's not important. We put together our top 10. Not personal, but we predict will happen tomorrow, actually. So, are you ready? Let's talk Eurovision. What's up, you Eurovision fools? Matt, Melanie, and Boris, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel, and we kind of hate doing it, but people want us to do it, so we did it anyway. We all sat together, picked who we think will be in the top 10 on tomorrow's show, and then combined the results. Not only that, we also included your votes. You were able to vote on ESC United, and the results will be included in the overall score. So, with no further ado, let's jump right into it, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because that always helps us to stay relevant, right? You guys ready? They don't know what's going to be thrown at them. So,
who's the winner?
The country that the team united believes will win if we add it together. The winner of the Eurovision Song Contest 2021 is going to be Italy. So our team overall agrees with the current betting odds. I heard a in the back.
I think it's strange. I did not have Italy first, but I did have them really, really high on my list. So if this is an average, then that makes sense, I guess, because I know a couple of people are skeptical of the song that I have in number 1. I'm skeptical about Italy winning because simply I do not see juries giving them so many points. And also, they might be first in betting odds, but how many of those bets are made by Italians who cannot vote for Italy? I have my doubts. I would love to go to Italy next year, though, and especially because it's such a different song from everything else. But I have my doubts.
Here's the thing: it was a very interesting outcome. Everyone on our team had Italy high. Nobody had them as a winner, except for you, the readers of ESC United. So ultimately, you were almost like a tiebreaker. Ultimately, that would tip Italy to be the number 1. So, as said, Italy at number 1 right now. We'll find out tomorrow if we got this right or not. Who is, according to our prediction, the silver medal? Second place, if you can believe us and yourself, because you voted as well, France.
Yay.
So it is kind of a little predictable. We didn't know how we would all vote, but Italy, France, currently the betting odds favorites, and actually that's how it ends up with us as well. What do you think, Melanie? That sounds about right?
Yeah, it's deserved. It's my favorite of this year. I think it's also my number 1, if I can say that. I think it's just a really well package of the song. It's a very intimate song. Barbara is bringing it with emotions, and you really feel like she's saying it to the world, like, voila, I'm here, and you have to accept me as I am. And I just love the way she sings it. It's an amazing song, so deserved.
Deserved, yeah. And Boris, just to follow up on what you were saying,
I had it as my winner as well.
It's your winner.
I mean, you can never underestimate the power of something just really authentic and full of personality. That's the reason why Melanie is now very popular with our viewers, because she has so much personality. She's very authentic, and that is absolutely not shade. That's actually how she really is. And Barbara Pravi, likewise, is a very authentic person who just blasts us with personality, and she doesn't need much fanfare. I think everyone who watches Eurovision for the music, or most of them, will actually, at the very least, respect that. So I think she can do very well with juries. Televote, she might not beat Italy in that regard, but I think she's going to do very well.
So the average will kind of be a favor.
I've had her as my winner since basically rehearsals began. I'm not going to waver now.
Yeah. I think France would have won the ranking if it wasn't for some people having more doubts about France. Some people think it's going to be kind of like some of the other French entries that were pretty popular in the betting odds and then kind of underperformed. They feel as this is another year where the French entry is being hyped and then doesn't quite deliver on the night. So that's why I dropped a little.
I think.
Yeah. That's not necessary. So that is why France is our number 2. Now, the bronze medal, according to the team and readers' average, Malta. So a lot of discussion about potentially of the running order. I know the team wasn't too happy about it, but ultimately, this is where we put them. We think Malta will get another bronze medal, which would be their best result since 2005, so 16 years. But they were kind of hoping for a win as well. You think this sounds about right, Boris?
I think they can still very much win. I had them fourth or something, but that's mostly because of gut instinct. I think they can still win. I think they can do very well in the jury vote still. Televote, I don't know, but then again, I don't think France are necessarily going to win the televote either. Malta could do very well. I've seen plenty of comments that praised Malta, and all those people had no Maltese surnames, so we know that Malta is very popular outside of Malta.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not underestimate it. Sixth in the running order. I mean, Hey Mama finished third finished third in the televote from the 7th position, which is right next to where Malta is right now.
Yeah.
So running order, I wouldn't worry too much. It's between two entries that provide really good contrast to Malta.
Yeah. Is that where you kind of expected Malta to be? How you feel about that?
No, I expected. Like, still, Destiny is an amazing singer. She has an amazing voice. I still think that the staging is going great. I just think it's not winning at the moment because it just misses some kind of spark. But still, it's a great pop song. Destiny is a great singer, so I still think this is going to be one ending in the top 3.
Top 3, okay. Well, that's what we believe according to Team United and United Readers. And the country that we're putting in 4th place, still a good result, a repeat from 2019, Switzerland. Going straight to you, Melanie. You know, I know you're a big fan of the song.
I'm a big fan of the song still.
Does that sound about right? So,
yeah, and Cantó, he's one of my favorite singers of this year. He's one of my favorite artists of the years. He's one of my favorite all-time singers, artists. I just love Cantó, guys. That is just what I want to say. But
she likes Jon Steers a lot.
Yeah, I love him a lot.
I want someone to love me as much as Melanie loves Jon Haremai.
But it was my winner, but somehow I don't know what it is, but the staging still not clicks with me.
Okay.
And that's why I have it also still in my top 5. But I just wish that it just misses something. Yeah. That's why it's not my winner anymore. But still, Cantó is delivering it. It's a good song. He's still nailing that high note. John, if you see this, I still love you. So.
It is very interesting because a lot of the Jon Tears fans, and he had a lot of them, were actually kind of like, we're not clicking with the staging, but people who not as on the radar, they really love the staging,
maybe
right?
It's because
that
I
would be
know
me.
Jon
Yes,
Tears.
exactly. So that's what it is. So I thought it elevated it actually. Now it could be for some people maybe too artsy. Right, it could be some people like, I don't get this whole na. But I think for a Eurovision performance, it's slick, it's just well done. I really like it, and I think that even though I think this sounds about right, 4th place, I would not be shocked if he's going to go higher than that. I still don't see him as a winner, but I could see him potentially go high as 2nd place. So that's
actually
possible.
where I think it ends up.
Yeah.
2nd.
Yeah. So, but overall, when you combine Team and United Readers, we're putting Switzerland in 4th place. The country that we're putting in 5th place is Bulgaria. So that is a very interesting outcome because 2 of us said even it's not going to be in the top 10.
No?
No.
Really?
But it still overall ends up in the top 5. Boris.
I did not have it in my top 10, but that's mostly because I didn't have any room. Like the main reason is that I think we'll have like one very big jury blowout with a decent televote result in the top 10, and I had 3 countries on my radar for that, and that includes Bulgaria, and I actually ended up scrapping them because I think one of the other 3 countries is likelier if I just look at it a little bit more logically. But I think Bulgaria have a wonderful entry. They're going to do so well in the televotes. In the jury vote, I hope the televote comes through for them, because they deserve to finish in the top 10.
I know.
Even though I don't think they will.
It's very interesting. So Sean is one of our colleagues who said on the live stream that he has his eyes on Bulgaria and he thinks this could actually win. And he is the one who actually put it as a winner in his ranking.
I love Sean.
Yeah.
I also love you.
I'm actually, not that I won, because if you watch my videos, you know how much I love that song. It's like dear to my heart. I'm worried that Boris is right. And I also just put it out of the top 10. It was like the last one I removed, only because I am worried it's going to have a similar Equinox kind of thing. Like, it's just not quite enough, like super, but something is something, because I asked people around that watched the show and they're like, it was pretty, but it wasn't that, they didn't quite click with it. A lot of people.
I loved it.
So I was like, maybe there's something that people see for the first time not quite clicking with it. So I was getting a little nervous, and that nervousness resulted me in getting really nervous about the outcome. So that's why. But overall, still 5th place for Bulgaria according to Team United and the readers. The top 5 would be a great result, and it would be the 3rd best result for Bulgaria actually in the contest history. So who was in 6th place according to our predictions? Iceland. So they're not going to be here physically in the arena, but they're still going to be here in our hearts. And Melanie, you think you're happy about that?
I'm happy with it, guys. Iceland, every time I saw the rehearsal, it made me smile. Come on, like it's the most fun staging I have seen, I think, in years at the Eurovision Song Contest. They're having fun. It's a very colorful performance. I'm going to remember it every time, I think, every year when Eurovision comes up. Daddy did a great job in his second rehearsal. I'm still happy that he still can be in the competition. So, yeah, I'm happy with the results, that he is in our top.
How about you?
There are a lot of extraneous factors playing in with Iceland that are very difficult to gauge, specifically the fact that they're not there physically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also the fact that Dati refused to perform live because they're a group of friends and they only perform together. It's either everyone or no one at all. And it's very difficult to gauge these two things because not being physically there is a disadvantage. But the reason why they're not physically there could actually result in a lot of sympathy votes for Iceland. It's very difficult for me to gauge it. But if I just look at how popular Think About Things was and how much people seem to genuinely enjoy the 10-year staging concept, even if it's the same footage being recycled over and over and over again for the same stage show, I think they're still going to do very well. I personally thought that Iceland would finish between 3rd and 6th. I said that in October 2020. I'm just going to stick with that. I put them 6th.
All right.
Nice.
And that's where they ended up overall. Then the country that we think will finish in 7th place is Ukraine. And I was actually a bit surprised because this is kind of what I think they're going to end up by with all that hype and all that talk about it. I thought it's going to end up higher in our ranking. And it didn't. So I think that Ukraine, some people saying it could win the televote, but that's said about Italy. I think Ukraine will probably be in the top 5 of the televote at a bare minimum. I'm still concerned about the juries. I think our overall average score makes me feel like, this seems believable, likely to me. So I agree with it. But some people put it a little higher, and I'm like, I don't know if it's just the initial hype, because I always think this is not for everyone, the song. It's a little bit more polarizing. So that's why I'm like, I think I like our average score thing. It works out fairly well. What do you think, Boris?
I had it 5th, so I am actually probably one of the biggest supporters of Ukraine. I paid a lot of attention to the dress rehearsal that we just saw, and Katerina was incredibly good. That was her best one so far. If she can replicate this for tonight, they're getting jury votes, and that's exactly what they need to finish in the top 5. Generally speaking, I just trust that Go are going to be good enough to make that top 5, but they're not going to win or anything. They're not going to be top 3. They're going to be 4th maybe at best. That would be my guess. But they could very easily win the televote if they're good again tomorrow. Because we record these videos before the jury show starts, it's really difficult to gauge how good they'll be. They could have an off.
We may regret our decisions in a couple of hours. So, but we have to do.
What should be off the entire time?
So, then that's the top 7, and 8th place according to us, and you. Don't put your middle finger up, but it's Finland. So, Melanie, that's like surprise?
Yeah, because I haven't them in my top.
Oh, okay.
I love the song, but I have just a feeling that people also going to like it, but not going to vote on it. I don't know why. It's
just a hunch.
Just a hunch. But still, I think it's a good show. It's a good rock show. Like, I'm always in the vibe when I see it to rock along with it. But I don't know why. It's just outside the top 10. Maybe because I don't have enough room, like he said. Like, I can use that argument.
That was the one that had to be ultimately left out.
Yeah, so I decided to not put them in. But I'm happy to hear that people
believe in it. Absolutely, and I'm one of the
yeah.
ones that believes in it. I do think that there is a huge group of people that will gravitate towards it. I do think. I mean, just remember during semifinal 2 when the last country has not been announced and everyone was shouting, Finland, Finland. I would not be surprised if Finland won the televote in semifinal 2, actually. I don't know for sure. We'll find out soon. But I think they were easily in the top 3. So I think in televoting terms, this could go really high. And I do see that some juries could go for that as well because it is more melodically than some of the other rock songs. It's not rock. I know, don't get me all upset. So I could certainly see them having some appreciation for that. Overall, the team thinks 8th place for Finland, which would be their best results the first time in the top 10 since Lordi.
Oh,
so I think they would be
nice.
okay with that. Now, who do we have in 9th place? Okay, and that is probably, they should be very thrilled because that they weren't on the radar at all. Portugal, like almost like lots of people thinking this may not even qualify, is now actually a top 10 contender according to our predictions. Is that a surprise to you, Boris?
No, because I had it 8th.
You did.
Like I said with Bulgaria, I think there's going to be a random ass jury winner that was not on our room before, because that happened with North Macedonia and it happened with Austria the year before, and I think there are 3 contenders for that position if it's going to happen again, and those 3 are Bulgaria, Belgium, and Portugal. And rationally, out of those 3, I think Portugal is the likeliest because it has all the qualities that juries would vote for. It has a strong narrative. It's a completely different genre. It has zero pretenses that it's all about the music, and it also has vocals. Now, Love Is On My Side is not a difficult song to sing in tune, but it is a very difficult song to sing in the same using the same vocal technique that the tanka uses. So I think juries are going to recognize the fact that he's really strong vocally and that the song is basically jazz without any pretenses. And they might be voting for that.
Yeah.
It ticks all the boxes. And I also believe that, given that Love Is On My Side has relatively decent views, that it actually might have a fairly decent televote as well. So that should or could result in a top 10 for them. If not, it's probably going to be Belgium or Bulgaria taking their spot.
So it's going to be a battle of those 3 songs, huh?
I think one of the 3 is making it into the top 10, and I think Portugal are the likeliest if I just look at rationally.
All right. Melanie, any other thoughts?
No, I agree with him. And just to add on, if I asked my friends yesterday about the show, they all say, "Oh, Portugal was amazing." The non-Eurovision friends all love Portugal. So I think it's more a thing that people that aren't in the Eurovision bubble can appreciate. It's a classic performance, and I just think that the Black Mamba will do well.
And the last song in our top 10, just squeezing in, but it would still be a great result, and the best result in 8 years, Greece. Stefania is making the top 10 if you believe our predictions, and I put them in the top 10. I was going back from 8th to 13th place. I was like, eeny, miny, mo at some point, right?
Yeah.
But Greece is definitely, I feel as Greece has a lot going for it. I know there are a lot of polarizing opinions about it as well, but I do think there is a market for it, and it's just contemporary enough without being too it's not not necessarily you hear it in 2021, but it feels still something that people can relate to. It has good staging, and question comes, how does it come across all together? It may be overwhelming to some, but I do think it is quite entertaining. It has a fairly good running order, and especially coming in 10th now after some of the less maybe visually crazy performances. So I think this is potentially a good situation for Greece. Finally, top 10 again. You think about that?
I think so. And the biggest thing is about Greece is that Stefania has amazing star quality. She shines on the camera. She's an amazing singer, and I think she elevates the song and she just deserves top 10. So yeah. Well done, Greece.
All right, so this is our top 10. Just real quick. So Italy first, then 2 France, 3 Malta, 4 Switzerland, 5 Bulgaria, 6 Iceland, 7 Ukraine, 8 Finland, 9 Portugal, and number 10 Greece. Just real quick, some honorable mentions here, each one of them. Boris, I know that you thought that Russia will be in the top 10. Didn't make it in the end, the cut?
Yeah, it's just a gut feeling. I feel like Russia is basically on that yodel trajectory of coming top 5 in the televote. And that televote being high enough for them to barely squeak by into the top 10. I think they're finishing on the left-hand side of the scoreboard regardless. I think the televote is going to be very strong because Manizha is incredibly powerful.
Okay, well, have some believers there. Now, Melanie, you are one of the few people actually who still thinks that even though they're starting the show, Cyprus will be in the top 10 anyways?
Yeah, but it's my 10th place. I was doubting who I'm going to give the last place, and I decided to give it to Cyprus because still it's a great staging. There's a reason why it's open to show. And Elena is just killing it on stage. She has an amazing stage presence. It's still an amazing show to see. So I think a lot of people still will vote for it. So I give her my 10th place, and I still hope that she will do well.
I had Cyprus in my top 10 as well, actually.
Yeah?
So the country that I'm taking another wild shot.
Yeah?
Because I'm the only one who decided to put this country in the top 10.
And that is?
Sweden, actually.
Oh!
I still think that Sweden, and my thing is, I am tasting an Australia 2017 situation, like Isaiah. I just feel as this could absolutely happen here, where again the juries will like this very, very much, and the televoters are like, meh. But it'll still be enough to actually go through. And we've seen Sweden surprise us every single year with a song where we underestimate its appeal. And I could see that happening again. I mean, I don't have it high. I think I put it in 9th place, so they're squeezing. But I think it could happen. Never, ever count out Sweden, my friends. That's the moral of the story here. Just to give you a quick rundown of the few other ones that received votes. In 11th place, it would be Lithuania. 12, Russia. 13, San Marino. 14, Cyprus. 15, Sweden, and 16, Norway. So those are, the countries that receive votes from us. Now it's your turn. Leave your thoughts below in the comments section. Who do you think will be the winner? Who will be in 10th place and everything in between? Would love to hear from you. We got to move on. The jury show is starting in just a little bit.
Exciting.
So it's happening. 50% of the vote. So good luck to everyone, to your country. This is not about our personal taste. Remember that. I'll talk to y'all later.
See ya.
Bye.